it's a she, you know, it's not a he. And she runs very well, mostly when you want her to, but it seems like at weekends, she doesn't like the weekends very well, and it seems like when she does break down, she tends to lean towards the weekends, you know, the rest of us, possibly. But that's, we've had pretty good luck with her. We've kept up on the maintenance, but it's simply getting old. And
I'm Jim Fristeri, and I'm the publisher of the Star Beacon, and I've been here for about 7 years, and I've been publisher for 5 years now. We recently made an announcement that we're going to have to close our printing and packaging operations here at the Star Beacon. And while that's a very unfortunate announcement that I have to make, and we're all very sad about that, the reasons for it are to allow our newspaper to secure its future. And by that, and what I mean by that is our press and other equipment in our mailroom is quite old. The press is roughly 43, 44 years old. We've encountered the last few years a scarcity of replacement parts, making it very, very difficult when our press breaks down, not only to find those parts, but then the extreme expense that we end up having to pay to have those parts installed and get us back up and running. We've had a number of occasions over the last 2 or 3 years where our press has been down for a period of time, and it's just become a situation where we can no longer afford to pay the cost to make the repairs, and some of these parts take weeks for us to find. And this is a situation also that in our industry is becoming more and more apparent, and that is since 2009, over 50 newspapers have done exactly what we're doing, either consolidating their press operations at another location or transitioning them to another property, and that's what we're doing. So it's a trend, unfortunately, that we're seeing in our industry just because it does cost quite a bit of money to invest into a new press, and if you can produce the same results at another newspaper that maybe has more modern equipment, and it kind of makes that decision for you.
I had no idea that this was coming at all. Total shock. But they say the press is too old, what, 43 years old, hard to get parts and all, and especially those inserters, they've been having so much trouble with those, so they're obsolete. And then I know too, the way advertising is all down everywhere, even the plain dealer and everything.
And the cost is rising tremendously. To replace the press or to keep it running, and this is an economical move. I know it's a sad day for the paper, for people that work here and us and everything, but it's an economically business decision that in order to keep the paper surviving and running, you have to merge. I mean, there's no doubt. Lots of papers have done this. And I hope that never would happen here. It's been talked about for several years, and we kept fending it off. And but the expenses are catching up with us, and we can't continue. And there may be a time where the press would go down, and we wouldn't be able to replace it with a part that we could locate and find. So.
It's like a parent having a kid and watching them grow up and leave the nest, you know, so to speak. You know, this was my baby back in those days, and yeah, there's a lot of sentiment goes with it. You know, you made some good friends here. John Koenig, who was the last one here, he was just a very knowledgeable, probably the most knowledgeable man on offset presses that I've ever known. And John got to know every intricate part of this press. Marvin Elmer were my teachers. They were my mentors, but they were also learning too. So as they learned and passed on, and John was left alone as the pressman, he got to be the big Al of Ashtabula as far as this press goes. I think he knew this press is probably as good as any man in the world. I think he's taken every nut and bolt from this. You know, and you talk to John, and you wanted to talk about this press, he would talk for hours. He could tell you anything.
But again, what I would want to do is thank not only the people that currently work here, but everybody that's ever worked here at the Star Beacon in our printing and packaging facilities for the job they've done. The group of people that we have here now have worked very hard to help us improve the quality of our product, not just improve it, but consistently maintain a standard that has allowed us to be held up as an example by our parent company, CNHI, as a quality reproduction newsprint product.